The wagon train had departed Capitol Station in the early evening. For some time, Curtis watched Leif's use of the controls. Now, certain he understood the system, he shifted to adjust his makeshift cushion. Goodness, this bench was hard, and the vibrations were numbing his nethers. The setting sun still glared through the side windows, but Lars had fallen into a deep, snoring slumber. Leif pulled out a pipe and stuffed it with tobacco, the sharp smell of the leaf wafting. He lit a match and was about to touch it to the pipe, but stopped short, apparently seeing Curtis's pained expression. With a sigh, Leif blew out the match and stuffed the unlit pipe back into his shirt pocket. They rode in silence. A rare fast transport whizzed by, moving northbound at blistering speed, breaking the monotony, and eliciting Leif's only words since the station. "Whoa, you don't see that every day. Those things haul. I mean, they really haul, don't they?" Curtis nodded, preparing first one, then another opening gambit. None seemed right. Maybe this wasn't the time. The evening sky retreated in deepening shades of red, chased by the indigo band of leading night. The last long tree shadows faded into the dusk. He shifted toward the side window to see the countryside, since the small windscreens bracketing the front door offered only a view of the freighter ahead. As the last of the sunset retreated, an arcing concrete overpass blocked all view, limiting the sights to the shadowed beams of the road overhead. Graffiti scrawled garish reds and yellows high on the abutment, too deep in gloom to be deciphered. Then the night sky again filled the window, bright in comparison to the dark space, and Curtis flinched when an impact shook the boards only inches above his head. Leif growled something unintelligible. Jerks. They hide on the overpasses and throw rocks on the wagon trains. What could have happened had the object come through the front windows? Curtis shuddered. Ooh. And why would they do such a thing? Leif grimaced and opened his mouth, but something flashed in the periphery of Curtis's vision, lit momentarily by the running lights, high in the space between their car and the one ahead. He rocked forward, craning to the top of the windscreen, but there was only the empty sliver of night sky, stars lost in the red glare. Did you see that? Leif squinted an eye. See what? Something out there on top of the cars. Leif pursed his lips. Probably the trash they threw at us blowing off. No. Curtis had seen something, or someone, but holding this position to watch the sky was cramping muscles. He shifted back in his seat, readjusted his cushion, and rested his head back. Eyes closed, he drifted into somnolence with the rocking of the car, the drone of tires. Then something like a dark cloud passed over his soul, drawing him again into the dream. Now red desert sand, scorched and lifeless, blew in drifting tendrils across the cracked plain. The moaning of that arid wind, the only sound beneath an unnaturally low ceiling of roiling yellow-gray clouds. This shattered rocky terrain blurred to the horizon, broken only by pyramidal heaps of debris. He stood on the summit of one, a crowd at the base. People he loved, his parishioners, his adopted family. He'd seen many of them born, watched them grow, officiated their weddings, and sat by their sickbeds, had buried parents and even children. Not knowing what he waited for or why, he now stood watch, focus on the far horizon, dread in his heart, vigilance rewarded when distant movement rippled. A form appeared, like a dust storm, but darker, stranger. It moved toward him, toward his charges, with unnatural speed, its surface undulating a bizarre, nauseant motion. Pulse hammered his ears. His leg muscles twitched to run, but where? The power of the thing vibrated the earth, pulsated the air, thrummed his being, its approach deafening. He shook himself to throw off the creeping fog from his mind. What could one do against such? His hand was going numb where it gripped the lantern, his fingers turning white. They'd risk anything to seek the truth. The order will do anything to stop them.